Hey everyone, Isimemen Joby here, business and career growth strategist and founder of Fulfilled, a transformative career coaching program for Black women and women of color who want to land their dream jobs, skyrocket their salaries, and live rich, fulfilling lives. So today I have Vanessa with me. And Vanessa, I am super excited to speak with you, talk about your journey, and have you share your transformational story with everyone here. Welcome, Vanessa. Thank you for joining us.
Thank you so much. Of course. I'm excited to have this chat.
Yes. It's going to be a good one. Now, Vanessa, please tell us your current title. Okay, it just froze. Can you see me?
I can.
Okay, let me turn this on. Okay, can you hear me? Okay.
Yes.
So, Vanessa, please tell us your current title and your number of years of work experience.
Yes. So my current title is Talent Management Specialist, and I have about 5 years of experience out of undergrad.
Okay, cool. So, Vanessa, before you stepped into the room with us in Fulfilled, can you talk to me about what were some of the challenges you were facing in your career? Like, what was absolutely frustrating you to no end?
The biggest frustration I had was lack of clarity.
Mm,
Before I met you, before I joined Fulfilled, I was definitely in a spot where I was unclear what I wanted to do. I just graduated with a master's in a program that I absolutely love,
okay.
but there was a disconnect between what I love to do and finding the next steps of my career or kind of tailoring where I wanted to go.
Okay. And so for you, that was frustrating enough for you to do something about it. Tell me more about that, because some people are like, oh, I'm still young in my career. It's not a big deal. Or let me just take one more other role. Maybe I'll figure it out. Maybe I won't. What about the lack of clarity was like driving you up the wall and really frustrating you?
I feel like it was, I feel like it's something that I experienced before, but I ended up getting a new role that I like, working with a team that I like. But earlier this year, I was kind of at my boiling point where I was like, I'm so desperate for change. I'm so
Yes.
desperate to get out of the feeling of like, oh, like, each day goes by and it's like, I want to go on vacation. I want to live a life of joy and fulfillment, but
Mm,
I'm just not feeling that at this moment. So it
yeah.
was kind of like a come to Jesus moment. Like, this is my last resort.
Yeah. And it was like, it's time. It's finally time.
Yeah.
So then you ran into us. Where did you find out about us? Is it LinkedIn, Instagram?
Funny enough, I found out about you when I did one of your programs. It was the Millennial Job Blueprint program way back when. Yeah,
Yeah. Very cool. Okay.
exactly. And that was actually, I took that program, I forgot when, but it was like in a time in my career where I was kind of feeling similar. And it
Okay.
helped me so much to get to a job that I absolutely loved with a
Oh,
team that I loved. So
good.
as I was racking my brain of like, okay, how am I gonna get out of this spot? What would be the best resources? And ended up revisiting your page on Instagram, and I was like, oh, she has a new program.
Yeah.
That's how I found out about Fulfilled.
Oh, so good. So we had our conversation. You come in the room, and now you're hit with this curriculum and this community and this coaching. Can you take us through what was it like being in Fulfilled? What was that process like for you? What were some of the things you felt, you saw that you loved, some things that kicked your butt? Just talk us through that process.
Yeah, it was a journey. I know going into it, there was definitely so much fear, so much nervousness. I feel like the way you tailored Fulfilled, it's that it's really an open community. You're gonna see people who are much farther than you, negotiating, getting jobs, and then you're gonna see people just like yourself who are just starting.
Yeah.
So I feel like going in, my biggest fear was that there's no running, there's no hiding, there's no there's no flying under the radar. Like I feel like with Fulfilled, it was one of the few times where I felt seen with my
Mm,
flaws, with my achievements. And normally like I'm always a high achiever. I try to put my best foot forward, but with Fulfilled, there was no hiding of like, okay, like why are you taking so much on this module? Like what's going on there? And just the questions that you and Coach Keisha asked, like it definitely brought up some fears and some limiting beliefs that I had an idea that I had these beliefs, but I
Yeah.
didn't want to confess it. I didn't want to talk about it. I just wanted to hide it in, bury it, and try to make it work.
Yeah. Yeah. And so it's funny, in Fulfilled, we have like this whole no woman left behind. It's
Yeah,
like, we will find you. The client
exactly.
success manager, she's texting you, where are you? What's going on? We have the weekly accountability forms because we want to know where you are, where you're struggling, how we can support you, right? Because our success is you winning and actually doing well. It's a big deal to us. So I know there were some teary-eyed sessions.
Yeah,
There were some like come to Jesus sessions. It was a
yeah,
lot of transformation in a short amount of time, but you stuck it out and you kept running with
mhm.
us in the program. Can you tell me some of the parts you really love that really stuck with you, whether it was certain modules, whether it was a certain component of the program, just all the things?
Yeah. So I feel like it's hard because the program it's so jam packed with everything that you need for your professional growth, for professional clarity. So if I could pick my top three, it would be one, the mindset module. I feel like I'm always a big reader. I'm always looking for knowledge. I majored in psychology, so it's like mindset is something I was always introduced for.
Yeah.
Um, but it was different with the module because it was mindset from a perspective that aligned with my values. So I
Ooh,
am Christian. I do love Jesus. So just looking at mindset from that perspective made it different. Because I
yeah.
feel like a lot of time in social media, you see mindset coaches, but it's more of like new age and you can do it yourself. And I'm very humbled to realize that I cannot do this by myself.
I need help. Yes.
I need help. So it was just recognizing and bringing to light some of the beliefs I had, but also it matching with my values. That was a tremendous game changer for me.
Yeah, I love that. And one thing that's really cool about Fulfill, like we do have these cool faith components. Like I'm a Jesus lover too. And
Mhm.
we have people who aren't people of faith or they have different faiths. And they're still like, there's something about this program. There's like so much love and acceptance and like this whole faith that you guys have. Like, okay, I might be different, but they don't feel different. Like they feel welcome. There's like so much warmth and joy. And so for the faith girls, they're like, and then for the people who are like of a different faith, they're still like, oh, we honor and respect like this space and what you're
Mhm.
doing and how you're bringing these values in. Like these values align with me as well. So I love that that stood out for you because people love that like different sprinkle that we put in the program. It's not just like, here's your resume. It's like, here's your whole life through
Mhm.
these cool values. So I'm glad that that blessed you. So you said the mindset was the number one.
Yes. The second were the weekly coaching calls. Like there were some times where I feel like the weekly coaching calls and the fact that there was always someone available through text or even through emails, even when we did it, like it was far away from the weekly coaching calls.
Yeah.
Because there were some times where, I was like, oh, like there's some questions I have, but there's so many. So having that opportunity to talk about it, like through Zoom with a group of girls, I felt like yes, you and Coach Keisha were like the main coaches, but I feel like at one point all of us were kind of coaching each other based on
Yes.
what we went through, our
Yeah.
experiences. So it was that sense of community where it's like what you said earlier, like there's that no woman left behind. But
Yes.
at first, like that seems scary because it's just like, oh, like you don't want someone like dragging you. But honestly, everyone respects you where you are. They honor your journey. Um, and it's always from a place of love, and we want to help you grow. And we're not going to let you self sabotage yourself.
Exactly. Absolutely. And I love that you brought that up, Vanessa, because me and the team, like every week we meet and talk about all of y'all. How's
Hmm.
she doing? What's she struggling with? Oh, you had a one-on-one with her this week. What did she bring up? Okay, what does she need to do to get to where she is? Okay, she's taking a couple weeks here. Should she stay here? Should we move her? She needs a little bit more time.
Hmm.
And that's where that like us having to gauge, like shove her off the cliff. This needs to be done by Thursday at midnight. And then like give her a bit more time, so that she can, oh, there's things going on in life is lifing. Okay, we get it. And so I'm glad you could see that we like held that tension between like kicking your butt and then also being like, okay, sis, it's cool. We get it. You need more time.
Yeah.
So I love that you love that. So the community was the second part, or the coaching calls were the second part. What was the third part for you?
The third part was the feedback. So I know we had feedback when it came to our joyful job workbooks. Also our feedback when it came to resumes. So just like having that timely feedback where it's like I'm able to do the work, but I don't have to take months as
Yes.
I would normally do if it's something by myself, because you want to get it right. But it's
Yes.
that freedom to, yes, do the best that you can, but you have experts, you have the support who's going to give you feedback on what you presented.
Yeah. Yeah, absolutely. Oh my gosh. I love that, Vanessa. We love that too. We love being able to provide that. For you, do you remember a moment where you had like a breakthrough moment? And share with us like your big win from the program too. Like what ended up happening to you at work as a result of this work? So your big aha breakthrough moment, and then what ended up happening to you as a result.
Of course, my biggest breakthrough moment um, was the first time I cried on camera. Man, so it actually stemmed from a question that I put on the Facebook group. And then Coach Keisha had asked me a question. It was along the lines of like, oh, like, are you afraid to fail, or what are you afraid of? And I feel like I always strived for success, like in my personal life and my career. So having someone ask me that through a Facebook group, it was like this thing where I was like, oh, I don't want to answer that question. And then
Mm,
it came up again on one of our weekly chats,
mhm.
um, where it was just like a really reflective and honest moment with myself and also with the other girls, where it's like, yes, I do feel failure. Um, and that fear has held me back from showing up the way I need to
Yeah.
build the life that I love, to get a job that I love, and to really show up fully. So that was like the biggest aha moment. Um, and then the biggest win was ultimately getting a promotion at work. Yes, this is so exciting.
Congrats.
So it's it's truly something that if I sit, I can really soak in and feel the joy of, because
Yeah.
I work for a small organization where our HR team is maybe 13, 12 people.
Mm,
So the idea is that once you reach a certain level, most of the people, at least in my position, they tend to move to other organizations.
mm.
So this was specifically a role that was created for me.
Wow.
New
Wow.
title, yes.
Come on.
It was created specifically for me with a pay increase, and I wouldn't have gotten this opportunity if I didn't, first of all, follow the instructions that I was given and fulfilled, and also if I didn't show up the way that I did.
Come
Because
on.
this promotion was a result of me working on projects that I volunteered for, working on projects with the VP, with the vice president of my department,
Come
where
on. Come
she's
on.
not my direct report, she's not my supervisor, but definitely advocating that, oh, like these are the roles that I'm interested in. This is the area of HR that I'm interested in, and really having a voice to speak out and tell people like, oh, this is what I'm passionate about. And I was surprised to see how much people are willing to help you once you open your mouth and you're clear about what you want.
It's the opening the mouth, but it's the being clear for me part.
Exactly.
It's the clarity because people can't help you when you're not clear. Because when you're not clear, you're not confident. And then no one
Mhm.
wants to invest in or uplift or give visibility to something that's not confident. It's like, oh, you don't know what's going on. You don't know what you want. And you want me to put my name and sponsorship behind you. And then you make me look bad. Oh, I'm good. But when you
Exactly.
are clear and concise, people are like, oh, absolutely. I would love to help you. So you could, with clarity, because you had done the work with Joyful Jobs, you had done the work with Golden Triangle, you had done the work with your mindset, you with clarity were able to say what you wanted. And because you were able to articulate your value and what you wanted, they created a role for you because they didn't want to lose you. And they gave you more
Exactly.
money. And they gave you a title change.
Exactly. And the crazy thing is that I I've been in that spot where it's like I kind of don't know what I want to do. Like, and even sometimes there would be people who'd be like, "Oh, I have this connection if you want to work in HR," but I wouldn't even take those opportunities because I was like, "Oh, I really don't know what I want." So
Mm,
Fulfill taught me clarity, and it also taught me that it's okay for my career trajectory not to look linear. Just because I'm working in HR now doesn't mean I
yes.
have to work in HR until I retire.
Yes.
So, like
Yes.
the biggest concept and also the challenge that I had to work through was that my joyful job isn't going to be my joyful job for my entire life. It's my next joyful job. So that's,
Remember when you got that breakthrough, you were like, wait,
I was
I
like,
don't
wait
have
a
to
minute.
I don't have to try to figure out my entire life's work in 12 weeks. I'm like, no, sis, just the next role. And granted, yes, have as much visibility so you can reverse engineer. But what you know, let's move in that. Because you go there, you move in excellence, and then doors open up. People begin to tap you on the shoulder. Oh, have you considered this? Have you considered that? Oh, no, I didn't. And then you move. Like what you know, let's move in that. And once that happened and you got that permission and clarity, you're like, oh, that's easy. Because I think you were
Yeah,
stuck in joyful job for a little bit,
I
trying to be
was.
perfect. Like, and I was like, girl, just find your next joyful job. You're like, okay, boom. And then everything is just like going
But
crazy.
that's the thing. And that mindset does create confidence because before it would hold me back that it's like, okay, I really feel passionate towards this area, but I don't know if that's where I want to spend my rest of the career or like
Yeah.
that's not where I want to like concentrate my focus. But having that freedom, it's kind of like, okay, let me explore this passion within roles, within projects.
Mhm.
Another thing I learned in Fulfilled is that I don't need to find a job. Like it's possible to look for projects or volunteer work to see if that's something that interests me or if it's a field that I absolutely love. So it's just
Absolutely.
so many things that seem simple now that I know it, but I
Yes.
wouldn't have gotten to that conclusion myself.
Yeah. And that's the power of having a coach. And Vanessa, have you ever had a coach? Like, have you ever done something like this? Is this new to you? Talk about the power of like investing and having a coach.
Before, well, I did the Millennial Job
Yeah.
Blueprint program, but besides that, like this would have been my first time working with a coach, and it's just different. Like it's just different. It's a game changer. Like I love personal development.
Yeah.
Like I would invest in books. I can invest in like workshops and things of that sort. But having a coach is different because it's really one-on-one. Like even though we have group settings, it's really tailored to you. It's someone who's like, yeah.
Sorry, but at the 1 second, like I've had a couple people say, oh, I need one-on-one. I need one. I was like, listen, you're gonna miss the power of being in the room and getting 10 times the amount. Like we do this strategically because you said like something started happening. You start coaching each other. And then you're hearing other people's stories and people are asking questions you never thought to ask because of their situation. And now you're like, oh yeah, bet. I'm never gonna make that mistake. Oh, she got
Mhm.
how much? Noted. Oh, so like and then when we come to coach you, it's almost like no one else is in the room. So you get the best of both worlds because we drill down, we focus, we give you tailored responses, and then you're like, cool. And then you get to hear 10 other people receive coaching, and you're like, yeah, putting that in my pocket. Oh, gonna say that next time. Oh, that's the script you use when someone tries to play you. Noted. Whereas if you were one-on-one, you'd ask your questions and go home.
Mhm.
It's like 10 times more powerful. We're like, so I love
Yes.
that you said that.
And funny enough, no, because I was afraid of that when I was introduced to the group calls because I was like,
Yeah.
oh, like I'm so shy. Like I feel like one on one, I'm a talker. Like I'll ask all the questions, but in a group setting, it's like you get shy. Like you don't want to seem silly or even ask. Like sometimes I would have questions, but I wouldn't be sure how to articulate it. And
Mhm.
in those moments, another member of Fulfilled asked that question. I was like, oh, that's the words to what I was thinking about. Thank you so much.
Powerful, powerful.
Yes.
I love that. I would love you to share, Vanessa, for anyone who is hesitant or worried about investing in themselves, or, oh, should we do fulfilled? Is it real? Is it like made up people on the internet? What would you say to that person?
Mm. I feel like I could go on and on. Um, but I would say it's always scary in investing in yourself, but you could either make the investment or waste time trying to do it yourself,
Ooh, which you're never going to get back, by the way.
which you're never going to get back. And you're probably going to end up spending more money. Because I feel like fulfilled, like, it's hard to explain, but it's just a container that just speeds up time.
Yeah. No, Vanessa, you are saying all the things right now. I'm sorry. You're saying all the things. Like literally, I tell people what took me 10 years to figure out, you're going to figure out in less than 10 weeks. Why take another 10 years? I've already done it for you. I've already been there. I've already struggled. I've already done the research. I've already brought the experts. I've already done the work. I've already strategized and reverse engineered. Come get this strategy.
Exactly.
Oh my gosh, it speeds things up. Yes, thank you.
It does. And honestly, with the investment that you make, if you really show up, do the work, and be honest, you're gonna make that in another job with pay increases, with promotion. Like
Yeah.
that investment, it's literally nothing to the value that you get, the community that you get, the coaching that you get. It's a no-brainer. Like it seems scary to invest in yourself because I was shaking literally after I invested in myself. I was literally sitting in this chair and I was like, I still live at home. I don't even know how to explain to even my sister, who she's like willy-nilly, like she's always like, oh yeah, go for it, treat yourself. I don't know how to explain to anyone that I made this investment in myself. But looking on the back, like that was like you need to make steps to get yourself uncomfortable. Not saying that you need to do everything, but there are some strategic steps that you need to take to speed up the process and to get you where you want to be. So
Yeah.
I'm glad I made the investment. I definitely got more out of it than I invested. So
Come
thank you.
on. Come on, Vanessa. And the cool thing is, fulfilled is a gift that keeps on giving. Like, yes, you got a pay increase in this role. Yes, you got a title change, but now you know the game, Vanessa. If you want to go to another role next year, you can. You know how to negotiate. You know,
Mhm.
and it's just going to keep happening. Like we had someone who worked with us like 4 years ago, 3 years ago. She's like, yeah, I increased my salary by 40K. You see, just thought I'd tell you. I was like, girl, I haven't seen you in years. What are you talking about? She's like, yeah, I'm just using the stuff you taught me. I can't unsee it. So you're right. It's like you make that one-time investment and you're transformed forever. And I can see, Vanessa, like you wanted to be enjoyed, you wanted to be fulfilled,
Mhm.
and it looks like you finally are.
I am. Like, I am. And like, if I knew it was just going to take the fulfilled program to do it, like, I feel like I would have done it sooner. No, don't do that. Don't
It's
do
just,
that.
I know. It's like, I don't know. It's like, I don't know how to tell people this. Like, I know people freak out about money, but I'm like, we pay for things all the time. We buy cars, we go on trips, we buy hair, we buy clothes, we spend money all the time. I'm telling you, if you come in this room and invest this money, I know investing thousands of dollars can feel scary, but you spend money all the time anyway. Whatever. If you look at how much you spent last year on Uber and food and Zara and Sephora, and it's thousands. So stop.
That's your
It's not all of
fulfilled
them.
investment.
It's the fulfilled investment. And so, like, the reason I got emotional is because I always have trouble articulating. And so to hear you say it, it just blesses me. Like, it just, I don't know, it just fills my heart. You're like, if I had known that I could come in and gather my whole life and accelerate my entire life in just a few weeks, I would have been done this. And I'm just like, thank you.
Yeah.
Thank you.
And for anyone who's on the fence, I would also say that this, like, yes, you're a professional development, you're a career coach, but the things that I learned in Fulfilled, like they flow over into other areas of my life. Like I show up different as a daughter, as an aunt, as a sister.
Come on.
I show up different in my relationships. Like it's just different. Like the tools, it's like it changes your mindset, it rewires your brain.
Yes.
Really
Yes.
just be confident to advocate for yourself and build boundaries. So
Yes.
it's just so much. I could go on and on.
Vanessa, thank you so much. My prayer is you're going to keep flying. I know you're in the alumni group, so we'll see you on alumni calls like every month as we continue to coach you and keep up with you for essentially the rest of your life. As long as I'm running this program, that's one thing we do for our clients. Like they get to still hang out, right? Because we want to see you continue to grow. But thank you so much. Thank you for coming and doing the work because you did the work.
I did. It was there were highs and peaks where it's like, I had wins to share, but then there was also moments that I struggled. But in those struggling moments, like I didn't have to do it alone. Um, as long as I opened my mouth and I was honest, like there was always support.
Always.
Mhm.
Oh man, Vanessa, thank you so much.
Thank
I deeply
you.
appreciate you. Oh, you're fine. You're welcome. And just blessings on the rest of your journey.
Thank you so much.
You're welcome.